democracy actually is coming to fruition. The founders have an idea where the people had input, have representation, and they could actually have an effect and impact on what was being pushed down them. And of course, I'm kind of referring to the pushback against that 1,500-page bill filled with pork barrel projects and pay raises. Yeah, the Congress thinks they're doing such an excellent job. They wanted over a 60-some thousand per person pay increase.
And they get upset when the normal everyday person has some input to what they're doing. We're not supposed to say anything because we're not elected to that office. We shouldn't have any say in how our taxes are spent.
Yeah, how dare you criticize it because you don't know the biggest picture? Yeah, you keep us in the dark. We're like mushrooms. You grow.
But those days are over.
Did
What
you
do you
see
think?
Dick Durbin saying that he didn't see where there's a problem having a pay increase up to that much because they haven't got a
$68,000.
Yeah,
That's more than the median income in this area.
Yes,
I would think
it's 170. They make 174,000 right now. They want to get to $240,000.
So isn't that great for people? And all they do is sit around making piecemeal legislation to screw with our lives, and we're supposed to be grateful for that role. I mean, and another thing is who initiates the bill creation? So say we ought to need a law. Remember that thing we used to see as a kid?
They get the bill. The K Street, the lobbyists write most of these bills. But you look at it, why are we paying for a stadium in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, yeah, well, it's basically because of thank you gift to some political group and from some political, probably the Democrats, because they seem to have an ironclad grip on D.C.
This thing that they were supposed to be paying at passing is as dirty as any. Okay, I will tell you, I'm hot as heck pissed off at Mike Johnson. So my buddy Mike is kind of.
Well, before you get pissed off at him, do you think maybe him and Trump talked about this?
No.
You come on, hear me out. That this is a setup to do a run through with Doge to show whether it could work or not, and it did work. Come on, somebody he was in the press box. How many times have you seen that he's at Mar-a-Lago?
He's on Air Force One.
I think he's like a double agent.
So you think he's running one side to get help? You think
to make Doge work? I mean, now that the genie's out of the bottle, they aren't going to be able to put it back because Elon Musk, Vivek, and even the American people. You've seen that he's the millennial, the old millennial, whatever his name is on TikTok.
Yeah,
he had a good.
He did a good delivery of this against this. Yeah,
explaining it.
And, it was
excellent. Saying, it's out there,
right?
And this is going to happen every time these mugs have a bill. Vivek even said that every time they have a bill. Or they want to raise some taxes, they're going to look at it and they're going to put it out on the internet for everybody to see. The days of doing shit in the middle of the night and darkness are gone.
Could you imagine
what should be done? It should be done in the light.
Remember when they tried to pass what we call Obamacare, the Affordable Health Care Act? Okay, because
when
they pushed
this actually has part of it in there.
Yeah, so what I was going to say though, remember there was with John Connors asked about, did you ever read it? And he was scoffed at the person. Like, did I read it? It's like over 2,000 pages. Like, you're supposed to have had an input in writing it. Who the hell wrote it? I mean, somebody didn't.
It was the lobbyists, like you said.
Yeah.
But here's the biggest part in this bill, right? Is a CRT, and oh my God, if we don't cover this. And you don't get your Social Security check, you don't get this and this. So everyone wants to scare everybody.
That's not true. That's not true because what happens is there's things that government has to do by law,
right?
And that's one: paying the military, the Social Security, all these functions are going to go on. Whether this bill is, they always go back to that.
They always use it
say that
they try
when
to
it's not true, and that's but they can't do that anymore because people are too smart. And then what the other attack is. Republicans hate farmers. Republicans hate the flood victims. Republicans hate this because the Republicans are standing up because they're weak-kneed. The people are the ones that are making them stand up and saying, no, we're not going to do it.
Yeah, because here's the biggest thing is what the Congress is saying.
Well,
you can keep Obamacare for you guys. We want to be
no, they've always had theirs.
They
didn't have to opt out. They've always had their own medical. It's already in there. It's already with Obamacare.
CRT actually pushes it more.
Congress has always had their own medical.
Right.
They have nothing to do. They have their own medical. It's always been in there. And it also was reaffirmed with Obamacare. So this has nothing to do with
the other side this law has, which has nothing to do with spending, has nothing to do with anything else, says this way. If you get a text, if you get arrested or something like that, you go to court, or Steve goes to coordinate our emails.
That's the
everything can be followed.
Global
Yeah,
Engagement
yeah.
Center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now these guys can actually say that the government,
They could.
the congressman
They
underneath this
could if
doesn't
this
have that
bill would have been
response.
went through.
Right.
I don't want to report or say things that
If this bill had gone through, this is what's in the bill I said. So
Right.
here's the thing about it is we're paying money, like Steve said, for a stadium in DC. We're paying for
we would have
would
if
have,
this bill.
if this bill had gone through.
Another thing is, I think okay if these team owners want to build the stadium, let them build the stadium. I mean, they want to reap all the
And
money
then,
that comes
because
off of
we
it.
can go into that how people get screwed. How many times did like Los Angeles get screwed? They build a new stadium for a team that the owners decides on a whim to
Move 'em.
move to another state.
And
Right.
another thing is too, though. Okay, look at it, the Auburn Palace. That was around like 30 some years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it was great, a great venue place for concerts. Now it's gone.
Now it's a
And who the
parking
hell
lot.
built it? Who the hell built it? I bet you. I know there was,
Probably not
taxpayer
paid for
monies.
it.
Taxpayer money.
Yeah,
Because they
so
always do that. This is going to be great. It's going to bring in business. These ticket sales. No, they don't. They bring in crime. I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Not directly, but indirectly. And these people come in and they rob the cars that are. It's just a stadium is not a win-win.
no, it's not. I mean, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
wonderful to have, but you got to have it. You got to look at the underlying condition, of economic conditions. When Detroit and whatever was bigger and booming, they had more basically paid for themselves. But now they have to be subsidized.
And then they tear down the Silver Dome,
Yeah.
which was easy on off, and it was easy to
Right.
get to the Silver Dome.
Right.
It was easy
And
to get
then they,
to Auburn,
we're
too.
going to put it smack dab in the middle of Detroit
So it's-
where there's no parking, and you got to pay hundreds of dollars, and everybody jacks everything up. And costs you hundreds of dollars to go to a football game or a baseball game.
it makes it out of.
And hopefully your car's still in one piece after you get out.
So I went to one Pistons game back when it was Auburn Hills,
Well,
and
how long ago was
that was
John?
it was like 28 years ago. But no, just let me finish though. And I was like looking around, and I didn't see people I would consider to be like urban people from the city of Detroit down there.
No,
They're
of
mostly
course
people
not.
walking around well dressed, well attired, because hell, the tickets were at 60 bucks, 40, 50, 60 bucks back then. You know what I mean? So that's way out of the range of the people that they're saying that's like, oh, we're trying to build this team, this city spirit up.
Yeah,
It's
city
ridiculous.
spirit. If you take a whole family and if you watch some hot dogs or something in a game, say you take a family of 4 there,
You're paying $200.
200. Heck no,
Well,
you're
60.
paying closer to 6.
Yeah.
Well,
with,
I mean,
with
if you're
parking
And
the tickets.
what's the beer like 10 bucks?
But yeah, there's
15? I think.
10,
I
yeah,
don't
like
know. I never drank, so I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
But
so-
even a Coke is like $5.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, if these guys want to build it, fine. You build it.
But
It's on
get
your
back
back.
to the thing that we were talking about originally. That the genie's out of the bottle. They're not going to be able to put it back. Doge's and the rest of America's eyes are on Congress for everything that they do from now on. They're not going to be able to do anything sneaky anymore.
The only thing is that I like the optimism. And I do like that. I like what's going on. I like to.
But this is not proof that would give you
Well,
more.
it's proof. It's proof. But the thing is, a lot of people say they're gonna like hold on to this for a while, and then they're gonna lose interest. People are easily distracted, and I hope
Okay,
that
but
doesn't go that
Elon
way.
Musk has millions and millions of I don't know how many million. What is it 2 or 3 million?
Followers?
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
And so that's a lot of eyes to be on something,
yeah,
whether you're interested or not.
I
And
say.
most of the MAGA guys, or most of the people in that.
And
the
then
MAGA
don't forget
movement,
about Bannon. Steve Bannon's got he with the War Room. You got Alex Jones
And it
you
does
got
seem
Joe Rogan.
you
with
do. And
13
people,
million.
to a certain point.
when people like Rachel Maddow is
But I'm
basically
saying
coming by the
it's going to
wayside.
be pretty hard. Even if people become disinterested in it, the information's still going to be out there.
Yeah, they can't say, well, it's there. It's glaring you in the face. It's hard to make excuses why you didn't react to it.
And to see, I don't know if you were on if you had time to go on Twitter at all today.
A little bit.
All these representatives going on there crying. Who is Elon Musk to say have a say into what we do or what we don't do? Well, he is because he was appointed to Doge
Right.
Right.
by
They
the
don't like that
President of the
fact.
United States.
They don't like the fact that they're being held accountable.
No.
That's the thing. The biggest
Well,
part
because
is
they
he's actually
haven't
not
been.
holding
No, they have
accountable.
never been. They've
Right.
always, what they do is they get elected. Here's what I always seen is they get elected, they go and they shake hands, act cordial for the time they're trying to get elected. They get elected, they get in office. Basically, everybody forgets they are until next time they come around and stand outside of a manufacturing plant or a store or a mall,
Right.
whatever. Shake your hands, I need your vote and all this stuff. And then after the process
come,
repeats.
or come to your town and bring a celebrity
Yeah.
to have a concert and think that's going to get you elected.
I'll go to
those
Kamala.
days, but those days are gone too.
Yeah,
Yeah, because nobody really gives a crap what
No,
celebrity
because
thinks.
like I was telling John, a representative or a congressman could go on Fox News,
Right.
and before they could say something while they're on Fox News if it's live, and before the end of their interview, they could be slayed on X and everything that you know what I
Right.
mean. This is real time now.
Right.
It's not. We don't have to wait. You don't have to send a letter,
Right.
or you don't have to make a phone call. You can make a tweet, a Facebook post. There's so many ways you can expose this.
And this
now.
is why that the Congress wanted to say to the, First Amendment, get rid of it, get rid of all
Get
these
rid, get rid of
things.
TikTok,
TikTok.
which
Yeah,
which
because-
everything that I'm seeing is it's going to be it's not going anywhere.
Well, the thing is,
Especially with the Supreme Court taking it out.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, these people like they say, well, we'll get these Chinese are monitored it, or this other countries are monitored it, we'll get information. You guys already sold the crucial information, the infrastructure, everything in this country. You politicians,
This
I guarantee you
phone
did.
right here is made in China,
Right.
So
Yeah, it's like, do you guys do a check, just random check of all the shipments of all these iPhones or whatever devices, to see if there's any kind of questionable things inside it, to see what the hell is this actually doing
or
inside
what
of it?
about these apps that are okay on the stores that are for foreign countries that,
Yeah.
that you're giving your information? And they're only up like Google and Facebook. What all these corporations are only upset because the information is going directly to the source rather than go through them.
Yeah, so
Right,
they
to
can
make a
be
buck.
brokers that broker it out for them,
Yeah.
for themselves. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't understand. Like people like, goes on audit videos, cops would come on. You're, taking pictures of, public buildings like courthouses.
Government doesn't
Gov-
like to be exposed.
No, they don't. I mean, it's like you're outside the damn building. Everybody can pass by. Are you stopping traffic? You can't look this direction while you're going past because we don't. You're going to give out crucial information. It's all bullshit. I'm sorry. They're just doing anything, and every cop out there is willing to partake in it because it's my job. I mean, I'm sorry. I have no respect for these people. I don't.
No, you shouldn't. I mean, they should have to gain your respect.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like I got a badge. So
But
what?
after giving
I got a belt.
Yeah,
after thinking it's okay to give themselves $68,000.
68,000. I mean, we were talking about that earlier. My friends have worked good jobs and they worked their asses off for it. Many of them never got anywhere near $68,000 per year. This is an addition to what their base amount is. An
Okay.
addition. That's
Yeah.
not their full salary.
Dick Durbin said-
They're trying to call it a COLA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your policies created the situation for inflation.
Wait. Dick Durbin says that they have not got a COLA in 14 years.
Oh my God. Yeah. So what? They're a pay
They're
scale.
public servants.
Servants, like,
So,
people
so
need to
CNN,
stop.
I actually was impressed by one reporter of CNN that said, doesn't this upset you at all? You guys are going for $60-some
I've
thousand.
seen that.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, are you the media? Then you guys aren't doing so good either. Why do you guys deserve what you get paid?" And the
Because
guy's like,
we're
"We're not
private.
public. We're private."
Yeah, well, it's like big difference is your taxpayers are not paying for our salary. Every time you get anything, you're taking it from us by force. We're not volunteering it. You'll set your IRS and your other agents against us. You are nothing more than Tony Soprano types.
But that's another thing.
You're watching these parties
Biden's
implode.
DOJ is in such a rush to get this because they had to do something to get it in front of the Supreme Court for TikTok
Right.
that fast. That's how scared they are of TikTok.
Oh my! It's like it goes back to that old thing
The
from
Democrats are scared of it.
Yeah,
the party.
they're imploding.
The party that always sold themselves as being open,
For
the
the
fourth
people.
estate, the fourth estate, the press and all.
Yeah.
As long as you control the press, you were buddies with them. You
And
did parties together.
Back when the Supreme Court was more liberal than it
Yeah.
was conservative,
Uh,
the Democratic Party did everything they could to stand up
The
and say
Supreme
you're
Court's
against them.
no, I think the Supreme Court's been pretty evenly split
Not
over the years.
about 30, 40 years ago. It was not.
No,
It was just another. It was a
But
liberal court.
in my lifetime,
even the ones.
Right.
it's been pretty fair.
It has been fair since my lifetime, but right before all this stuff, all I'm saying is this: that as long as the Democratic Party owns that or has them in their back pocket, they'll defend them all day long. Once they get out of that pocket, oh my God, destroy them right now.
It's like you're
That
no
is
longer
like
our
our
It's what
friend.
their own, and
And
Mayor Adams is proof of that.
Yeah.
Mayor Adams, he said no more.
And
And
they-
what did they do? They kick him to the curb and they investigate him, and they're going to get him over an upgrade for a first class
To
ticket.
Turkey.
That's the best they got.
Yep.
Is that he took an upgrade on a first
And-
class
and-
ticket.
And they're going to pass that and straight facedly think you should be morally outraged at what he did as much as you would for anything else. It's
But it
ridiculous.
didn't cost anything.
Yeah.
It was free.
It's like, yeah, it's like, I don't understand. You don't understand what they did. You know, I was like, no, you would, if it was one of you doing that, well, it was supposed to be one of you, I guess, but now he's not one of you. So you want to turn it against him. I
And
don't,
politicians expect to be first class and business class. They don't ever fly.
they don't want it.
coach.
Oh yeah. Like you said, that guy wanted air conditioning because he didn't want to smell the people in
Yeah,
the
Harry
galleries.
Reid.
Yeah. They think that we're unwashed masses and people keep on voting for him. Yet,
And treat them like rock
Yeah,
stars.
it's like, you know-
oh, there's that Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
She's a rock star. We can't live without
Yeah,
her
just-
in Congress or Mr. Suspenders or Mr. Fancy Pants,
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah. It's like,
And then
oh God,
I love those bills. Any bill with the man's name.
Yeah. I just think that I can't stand Lindsey Graham.
No, he's never met a war that he didn't like.
Oh, that's yeah. It's what, but he was in the military, though, right? He had been.
He is in the Navy.
You had been in the Navy, okay?
Please stop reminding me.
Yes, but I mean, I think he's like, oh my God, he's just ecstatic when they can go to war. You can run. I mean,
He
you
has
can-
never been in front of a war zone.
He's
That's
never-
the one thing.
was
He's
he-
got a lot of friends my friends in Ukraine, my friends in Israel,
Yeah.
my friends,
I like that. Yeah,
my friends.
How the hell
here.
you get all these friends?
Because they give him money.
yeah. Because you give me hundreds of $1,000s plus trips and all kinds of vacation stays. Yeah, I guess I'd be your friend. You know, you can. I guess I can. My the loyalty can be purchased. No.
My loyalty can be purchased, but I never get those type of friends.
Yeah, it's-
so.
Yeah, it's like most of my. I gotta get a better dog.
Well,
Congress,
I
I think
but-
you're right. Congress is actually getting exposed, and this is pissing them off more than anything.
Well, that's
else.
the way. I mean, when we were growing up, I think our parents and our grandparents were more involved in what was going on,
Well, see,
and
like,
they would write letters and different things to their congressmen.
we
Right.
how many TV times you seen a TV show? Somebody would just attend the city council meeting, and they're always going on about something, and they would depict this person as a annoying Karen or busybody, and like eye roll and stuff. No, you're here again, Mister So and So. You got 5 minutes. They always depict anybody who was a concerned citizen as a whack job.
Well,
They always
speaking of-
did.
Speaking of meetings, what is Chicago mayor? I forget what his name is, but he kicked people out of the last
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah,
But the border czar showed up and had a big crowd that he spoke to and said, "Your mayor sucks and your governor sucks. That we're starting right here in Chicago." That's
Right.
What's his name again?
Torrey.
Holman.
Yeah,
Holman.
Holman.
Yeah, Holman,
He
yeah.
had a meeting with the people. They love him there.
Yeah. Well, see, another thing is
Because they want to feel safe. They want to be safe again.
Well, no,
People don't want to have laws being broken all the time, and then people still look over it. And these congressmen, they look over them because that makes them look better. They make them look, oh, I'm second up to Donald Trump.
No, he's
You know what?
another. He's
Put your
another.
freaking people ahead of everybody else. You're
But
fine.
he's another real person.
yeah.
When it comes down to it, he could have a conversation like we're having right now and fit in.
Holman.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Holman definitely.
No, another thing is too. I think is odd, and I can't understand the blacks who are still at the Democratic would support their the mayor of Chicago's attitude towards these illegals. I'm going to say illegals because they're not just migrants. You're competing with. They're getting stuff that you should be able to get.
That you would
okay?
have to fight for.
Yeah,
and
you
do
have
all
to fight
kinds of
for it.
paperwork.
For it, yeah.
for it. Once you got it, you would have to do more paperwork to keep it. And they're getting it as
free.
part of their benefits
Yeah.
for free. They're taking over school, and you see what
Yeah.
they were doing in
It's like a
Chicago.
sign-on
It's
bonus coming
disgusting.
across. We got
Taking
you.
over rec centers for these people.
Did they build like a rec center for vets or something, like a homeless center? for
Yeah,
vets?
they kicked
And
out
then they kicked out the
veterans
veterans and
out
then
of
put these
a
guys
rec
in.
center so they could use it for these refugees.
It's like one
Well,
with
they call them refugees.
it's like basically welcome our new management. That's what our government's taking over. We'll just put out a welcome, and of course have it in Spanish.
Well,
but
they actually said the other day that Joe Biden isn't even working right now.
no,
Well, why should he?
Why?
He's supposed to be lame duck.
Well,
Well,
he
you
is
do that
lame.
right.
He's been lame all the time, but no, I just
Except for he did do one thing the other day when he was in an interview. He actually did put his foot on
When he
Nancy
said that
Pelosi's throat.
that Congress shouldn't be able to invest in stocks.
yeah. I mean, but they're saying basically it's a shot over the bow because he's leaving, and they know that he knows he's infirm. He knows that he's not going to be considered, held accountable for his actions. Or
But you
what
were
he
saying
says.
something interesting about laborer versus a thinker.
Oh yeah,
How the
you're
It's not fair the way that they get paid.
okay, I'm getting older and I'm getting a financial crunch and I look like I have to go back in the workforce, and I can't do the jobs that I used to do. I used to do physical labor, like I used to do landscape and I used to do, housekeeping, janitorial work, stuff like that, and stuff like delivery stuff, equipment, breakdown equipment, set up at different, venues and stuff. So I can't do that. But I would like to know is like, how are they capacity that a person who does physical labor gets far less pay than a person who sits at a desk? And I mean, let's face it. I mean, I know there's supposed to be a skill set that goes along with people in administrative
But
posts.
there's a skill set.
So
to
there's a skill set
certain
with anything
laborers.
that goes along
There's
with
a skill
it.
set with anything.
But
Yeah.
but that's the way we were trained.
Yeah.
We from in school to look down on people that do physical labor.
Yeah.
When actually they should be getting paid, in my opinion,
More.
the same or more. If you're exerting something, yeah, okay. One thing you're exerting brain power or whatever to do your job, but if you're doing physical labor, yeah, I think you should be getting paid for what it's worth.
It's
Stop-
One of the first shows we did, I told you I don't understand why these guys are making millions of dollars playing basketball. And you
Oh, I
said,
do because it's sporting
they get
event
hurt,
and
if
it's
they get hurt.
entertainment. Yeah.
right. You told me that. And then, but the work they have to put into it, right?
they do have to do work on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Some of those people.
So that goes along with the thought that we all agree on is that, you know what, the ones that are working all the time,
Right.
they don't know. You don't know how hard it's going to be before you put your back out when you're
Right.
working. So you should get paid more than a person who goes sits in a conference room all day long and just pushes a pin across the thing and says, "Yes, sir, whatever you want to do, sir."
I can see if that's their business and they're the entrepreneur.
well, I mean,
I can understand maybe,
But
but
talk about that. Go to Amazon. What do you think is going on with Amazon with all the different strikes in the 7 different
I think
places?
Amazon's on its way out, to tell you the truth,
What do you
because
think is going to
because of
replace it?
Temu.
Temu?
Yeah,
You
I mean Temu has their own delivery service.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that, but I didn't know
I
that.
know that Temu is cheaper
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
it's easier to get on the Temu.
it's
and
the
do
same
stuff
shit, same stuff. Because what I'll do is I'll look at Amazon, I'll go look at Temu
and get the same
and
price.
see it's selling, or I'll even go to AliExpress.
Alibaba. Yeah.
Well, the Express one is more for a consumer.
But
Yeah.
another thing is too, though. See, I was going to say, the move that Trump indicated he wants to do is to put tariffs on stuff. That's going to impact either Amazon and
He wants
Temu.
no. Trump wants to use tariffs. There's a difference.
That's what.
Is to say I'm going to put a tariff on this.
Right.
If you don't do, he wants to use it as a tool. I'm not just going to arbitrarily just go and put tariffs on everything.
Well, I was going to say, but even if you done that, both Amazon and Temu would be affected by it. So I mean,
Right.
they're kind of a leveling of the playing field there. I mean, they
Right.
both have that.
Well, Temu has warehouses here in Michigan.
Right. Oh yeah.
Because you can look on the website, it does have warehouse things. It says direct warehouse direct.
Yes, the first time I ordered something from Temu, it took weeks to get it because from across, probably in a big cargo container coming across.
Yeah.
But within about the next half year, I ordered something. It was within a week. It was here.
Right.
I mean, it was like really quick, and it was like and it looked like it was from the packaging looked like it was from United States. So I mean, and there's still jobs you get because somebody has to put it in a package and seal it and send it off. So there's still jobs being created. But I mean, I think we should get the bulk of the jobs that we need. The crucial things like our infrastructure, anything connected to the electrical system. We should be able to create transformers, not have to wait 3 years from shipment from
China.
Europe
Yeah.
or China, whatever the hell they come from. I mean that kind of stuff is like ridiculous. And when I found out years ago, the military awarded the contract to make guns was to Beretta, but then they had to establish a plant here in the United States in Georgia, to carry that out. But I mean, I always thought it was ridiculous to go to a foreign country to get your weaponry for a country.
Yeah, but you as a business owner, I know Trump's not in office,
Right.
but have you seen any changes in anything?
I've seen
that
changes.
you could say
I've seen changes
related
in
to Trump?
The last show I did, the last show that I went out and did, you could see a lot different. It was up north, and it was a lot different than it was like anywhere else.
People are more free with their money.
They're not more free, but they're more talkative. They're more able to talk to you about your product. You know what I'm saying? Than a lot of people were scared before. I mean, a lot of people would tell you, you know what, I just have no money. I have no money. I have no money. I think there's a lot of businesses that have been put into, and we've been hard on stuff too. We were down 60% sales in the last year from before Trump,
Yeah.
and when you look at that, I mean, we're growing, but we're fighting to grow. But every time you grow, it's like you had to fight every little thing to get there.
But
with
it's
prices.
a lot easier.
Now
I
it's
bet you-
easier to get
But
a
I
whole
mean,
product
because of the other thing you do about the distributor, I bet
Right.
you used to hold your breath before you go into a store to
Oh,
see,
yeah,
see
yeah.
if they wanted to re-sign up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bet you're gonna have it
I'm now I'm
a
waiting
little bit
January 5th.
easier.
Yeah, now I'm off January 5th because we're bringing out that new pretzel line and we're doing it January 5th. And so, yeah, so that's something I want to talk about. So when we get to January, I want to talk about that really big.
Okay.
So, but no, it is different, Steve. Now, I think I got more of a hope going
You-
into January than I did before.
This man
Yeah.
has gotten happier in the last last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
And he was very every day, and me too,
Right.
because I
We
talked
were
to
scared.
him. Not so much of anybody else because I mean I don't want to say I'm sad, but I'm doing okay.
But I mean, there's still room for error, obviously.
I
There's
mean,
many slip between the cup and the lip, as they would say.
We're
but-
okay. We're
Yeah.
not doing
Well,
as good as we would like to be, as we hope we will be doing in the next year,
Right.
because it's going to be people when the value of the dollar goes up, prices are going to come down because they're going to have to, because people are going to realize that their money's worth more, and they're not going to pay $5 for a hamburger anymore.
no,
Yeah.
you should have. I was thinking about that strike, and I was thinking about this on the way over
The
here.
what strike?
The strike at Amazon.
Okay.
I was thinking about this. You know what? People have. If you don't like where you work, if you don't like what you're making, you're free to go to another job.
Right.
Nobody's holding you. So striking to me makes no sense, right? In all honesty, I know
No, because they lose. I know people that are nurses and work in medical,
right,
but it's so messed up. Like at McLaren, they
Right.
have the Teamsters, they have ASME,
yep,
and I think even the laundry and maintenance people have
their own, yeah,
But what I'm saying is, every time they lose because when I was at McLaren, we formed a union. And what happened? Well, the union was forming from the date that we started until it ended.
Right.
There were no pay raises.
No.
They weren't gonna. Your manager wasn't gonna work with you the way that they would have worked with you before. It just sucks.
right,
And then if the union does decide to go out, you don't get paid any. You don't get any money.
Mm-mm.
And unions right now, they suck. There's no reason to be in a union now,
What's-
in my opinion, unless you work somewhere where it's dangerous
right.
and you need some like a policeman or whatever to
Rigged-
go
watch
through
what
to
you're
make
doing.
sure stuff is right.
Right.
But unions, they suck,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
So my,
I think it's getting to the point where the employers are saying that right now. They're getting tired of these. We can hold you. I think the employer. You asked me one part. I think employers are getting to the point where they're getting tired of this.
Well, wait till
Friday.
January. You're going to be affected in January because all that bullshit with the seasonal workers and you remember we talked
Right.
about it where you don't have no call, no show for 3 days,
Right.
and the employer can ask you where you've been. I don't know, and they can't fire you,
Right.
and you have to give the sick leave for the seasonal employees.
Right.
It's crazy. A lot of businesses, and plus, when you go to a restaurant, now the wait staff's going to be paid $15 an hour. Are you still going to give them a tip on top of that?
I wouldn't be likely to do it.
Can't.
And
No, why would you?
because your
I mean,
burger now
they're
going to go up to
getting
7.
paid, and that money's now in the food that's delivered to your table.
right,
Why are you going to tip somebody who's getting paid
right,
$15 an hour?
just to bring it to you.
Another
bring it to me.
$15. Another $5 or $6 up at the table.
I
You
mean,
know.
that's not fair. I mean, they think it's not fair. They don't. Most of the wait staff don't want the waitresses to know because they can make it's lucrative if you're good at your
Yeah.
job.
You're going to walk away with a lot more than $15 an hour.
Right.
And you're going to make let's face it, you're going to, I know some
But
places,
you have some
government,
stupid politician
but don't
that
you
made
know
this thing.
government knows best?
yeah, people who've never done a job, but
Government's been best, and they don't want this poor wait staff to suffer like that.
Okay, now they're being exposed in the light, which actually I do like. Right. This bill proved it.
But
Musk coming out.
How are you going to deal with that?
Vivek, how
You
much
as a business owner, now that
people are making,
you may have good employees now, but you may hire somebody who knows. Because believe me, I've worked with people that knew the ins and outs
Yeah.
of everything, and they'll come into a job and then just decide not to come in for 3 days,
That's fine.
and then and then everything else, they're going to work the system. It's
They
going to
can-
cost you money as a business owner,
It's gonna cost a lot.
and you're going to have to keep up. You got to keep up with all
All the
this
new
extra
rules.
stuff that they're
Yeah.
throwing on you.
You know?
It's a people who have never done the job, like George McGovern when he was a politician. McGovern, he was passing all kinds of laws that are punitive against business. Later on, after retiring from politics, he went into business, and he's even actually admitted, "Gee, a lot of this legislation I passed on, on business people was horrible." He even admitted it was stupid, and of course, the damage was done.
I mean, but Todd's talked about all the regulations
Yeah.
about having a business. There's so much gray money involved. You think, oh, I'm just going to open a store downtown and put up a sign and start selling my stuff. Oh, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
John,
Because if you get in the wrong city, you get in the wrong town, you get in the wrong strip mall. I was in the wrong strip mall one time.
yeah,
Downtown of a downtown business thing, and I wasn't one of the good old boys. And
And they kicked you out.
oh
didn't
my
they?
god, we lost everything
Yeah.
at that place
Because the
we made the
business
best
owners-
coffee. We made the better coffee and everything, and people that came in would say, "Hey, this is great coffee." But then after that, it was like, "Oh no, we were trying everything to get people in there." And the problem is we were charging less than the people down the street from us. But guess what? Because we came in and they were the sweethearts of the town. Well, don't you ever? So it's hard. I mean, you have to follow local politics. You have to follow good old
And
boy
not only
politics.
that,
Now you have to follow government politics.
but I told
like
you a
it's fine.
story about our mutual friend who owned a print shop downtown.
Yeah.
Had all these broken printers in the back of his shop. Somebody gave him that he didn't know what he was gonna do with it. He was gonna make a Frankenstein or something. But the city happened to come in. He had 5 of them, taxed him on all 5 as business equipment.
see, I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can get away with things you're purchasing, or maybe about releasing or whatever. How can they tax that? I mean,
That's what they do. They
I don't
walk
understand it.
around
Yep.
and they look at businesses, what they've got in the business,
so it's,
and they tax them on it.
who benefits from this mostly is
The
the people
city.
doing this kind of job.
But the thing is, what I don't understand is these people are people,
Right.
but they don't think like people when they get like we had to deal with. We pay taxes.
Yeah.
We had to deal with a person who didn't want to help us, didn't really want to tell us anything. But
No.
luckily, I went to Chat GPT and had a list of questions.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got the answer because I asked ChatGPT what should we be looking for, and she looked at the list and she answered them.
By the way, people, if you are in Genesee County and you do pay taxes or delinquent taxes or whatever, always keep all your receipts and try to remember the name of the
Well,
individual you work
anywhere.
for. But I'm talking about, because they got a repeated track record here of people paying and the payments, like the whole thing wasn't properly
And
documented.
not paying or going down and the day after you paid being hit with the tax that you didn't realize was there and then get another $600
Added on to it.
added on to that because you're late because you didn't realize that there was that's one of the questions ChatGPT generated for us to ask
Right.
if there's any more things that we should know about any taxes or reevaluations that are going to come up, and she explained everything, all because of Chat GPT.
See, another thing, a lot of people are like, and I'm very critical of, any kind of artificial intelligence. But if you're using it and you know enough to know how to use that, it's going to be an ally. And I think it's going to be, I think the lawyers are going to take a hit because they see they're actually coming up with legal, centered on legal
They
issues.
do
And,
use it
yeah.
for legal.
and it's like, it's almost bulletproof. I mean, it's almost as good as going to a lawyer.
Right.
So, I mean, and a hell of a lot cheaper.
saves you $2,500.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, for what does it cost for like doing like a not, the LLC? It's quite a few, it's a few hundred.
Like
Well, you go-
$600,
about
depending on what you
600,
do too.
Yeah.
When we started Legacy this last year, we started distribution part of it. It cost us $450 plus it cost us $200 to do all the partnership agreements.
These are all people.
But,
People.
okay, but
Which
But for
honestly,
now-
a lot of that was well, not a lot of
But
it.
to start
But
a
a lot of it was
not
fees.
start a nonprofit, we were getting all these big quotes to do it, and I did it for $25 to start it. I'm not
Right.
saying to
To
have
complete
to
it.
get the ID, the federal ID or whatever,
No.
but just to lay the groundwork for it only cost me $25.
You can do it yourself.
That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
did it myself.
You don't have to do
See-
it with everybody else.
I like, the thing is, when I watched the Sopranos, I saw with the scams and the angles they took on things. I don't see much difference between the mobsters and the politicians. I don't. I mean, they charge you for something. They have
There
no
is no
skin in the game.
difference.
They basically, we allow them to have power over us.
Right, and they're
Yeah.
and that back. If you, like I said, you go on Twitter, you can see how upset they are
Right.
that we're looking into their business because they were elected by the people to do the people's business.
And they
Even though,
When you're
because
talking about the
when you
running-
ask them, "What are you doing?" We're doing the people's business.
right. Well, no,
Well, what do you mean you're doing the people's? I said we're doing the people's business. Now get out of here.
yeah.
That's the way they acted.
Yeah, well,
And-
that's why all I was going to ask you a question. Though, going back a little bit to labor. Okay, I was talking to a financial expert years ago, and he made a thing. It's like he was against abortion. He said if we had more babies born, let's face it, we did lose a huge population because of
Right.
abortion since it was allowed. He said if we had more people actually being born, we'd have more innovations, we'd have more business started, and you'd have to have more of a competition to keep workers. And
Right.
the union would actually have to go. The union need for the union go be diminished.
And you
It would be
seen that?
true.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen that interview with Elon Musk about they were thinking that he was going to be one of those people that wanted to depopulate the planet,
Right.
and then when he
No.
did the exact opposite,
Right.
and said we need more people.
Right.
Yeah, he's like.
He said that.
Well, look at China. China enacted that one-child policy years ago.
they
and
screwed
I think
themselves.
They screw themselves. They know that. They allow children to be adopted from the outside world because I know people who actually
Right.
adopted kids from China. And now there's like basically their people are gone. Your people are your best asset. You SOBs. Your politicians think they're the only things out there worthwhile. They're the lower
But
echelon
I think
of the need.
it's
you know?
slowly the country's doing a reset.
Yeah, but it's the
It's
thing.
slowly, and I can see a lot more people starting to grow their own food,
Yeah.
to be more
Right.
self-sufficient, and wanting to have cows and different things, or at least a goat. I can see that happening.
See,
now.
the thing is, when I was a kid, I always thought people. I admit this. I mean, when they're anti-abortion, I go, okay, that's a woman saying. I got convinced, yelled at when I first brought it up. You're a man. You have no reason to weigh in on this. And I didn't delve deeper. To look at the consequences of it. It is everybody. People do. I'm sorry if we're going to supposed to be on board for same-sex marriage and they're supposed to be on board for transgender and be sympathetic to them. We're also should be sympathetic to
But
understand there's an impact.
what percentage of people do you think?
The NCAA
They-
is fighting over this one thing about transgenders.
No,
thing,
no,
right?
I'm
no,
asking
but there's
what
only 10
percentage?
out of 5,000 athletes, right? Underneath the women's
Only
exercise.
one. It only takes one.
It
Yeah,
was 10 people.
That's
We're
it.
fighting this whole thing
That's
for 10
10.
people.
That's 10 people too many.
it's just ridiculous. I
But
mean,
getting back to what I was saying, how many abortions do you think there are a year?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard people undercutting. I've
I
heard
had the
some people
numbers
inflating
years
it.
ago, but I can't remember.
But yeah, it's the Clinton administration. I remember him saying we want to make it unusual, not with like a infrequent or a rare, but lawful but rare. I think that's the words he used, or the phrase he used. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just such a. One thing about
Yes.
Andrew Tate that I don't like the guy, but he said we fetishize abortion, making it like the
How many
litmus test.
abortions are there a year?
Yeah, it's definitely a complex issue. If you have any more questions or need more details,
They
feel free
don't
to
even-
ask.
How many abortions are there in the United States a year?
In 2022, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported about 613,000 legal induced abortions in the United States. This was a 2% decrease from the previous year.
Wow. So maybe
Okay, so there's not as many abortions
right.
as
It had
they
been.
make out.
Right.
It's only I mean, it's bad that it happens, yes, but it's an issue that can light fire under anybody's butt. Either they're for it, or vehemently for it, or against it.
Right.
And they know it's an issue. It's a splitting issue too, obviously.
Well, then look at the time that Trump was there in his first term. He did more for the abortions, the anti-abortion people, than all the congressmen, senators that were supposed to be on their side did in 30,
With
some
common
years
sense.
before that.
Common
Yeah,
sense, and it was easily done what he decided, and to give it to the states
And let them make the
and let
decision.
them make the decision.
It's
was
on
the
them.
best thing that he could
And
do.
if you don't
And-
like the state you live in, if it's bad, then you can move out of that state.
right. That's
But me as a man, it's not an issue for me. I mean, I don't want people to do it, but it's illegal. So what am I going to do about it? I'm not going to get all upset and move out of a state because they allow abortion.
No.
It's like, if you don't want an abortion, don't get one. If you don't like a gun,
Well,
don't buy one.
Well,
You
it's
know,
not
it's like-
happening in my house.
It's like, yeah, another thing is too, it's like, another thing is maybe I'm really hardcore about this and people are going to scream at me. I know a lot of the feminists would, but if you don't want a kid, yeah, if you're having sex, take precautions. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
I don't know where it's rocket
But it
science
is what
required
it
here.
is. Things happen. But getting back to what I was saying, that you think there is a reset in the country?
Yes, I think there's a shift, definitely. And I think there are more people who are more emboldened because let's face it, most people are very scared to come up with something that they know a lot of people are going to have a serious, outraged argument or, insanity against it,
But don't you think being called anti-Semite or racist, it's played out
It's actually, I'm seeing it.
I think they've ran that.
right into the
Yeah.
ground. It
Well,
doesn't work anymore.
Well, it's like,
if somebody called you a racist, what would you do? Thank you.
Thanks.
That's-
Sorry.
it's
Can't
like-
change your mind next.
Well, I saw this one guy saying, actually, especially the refusal to accept there's any something bad going on in Israel-Palestine situation right now, and constantly labeling anybody who questions that an anti-Semite, it's going to almost make it a badge of honor.
Like Candace, this one anti-Semite of the
Yeah, I mean, I am so
She
sick of that.
gladly accepted
It's like-
the word.
The word homophobic or phobia means
That you're
inordinate
afraid of
fear.
something.
Okay, having opposition doesn't in biology it means something like a photophobic means a organism whatever that avoids light. Okay, but phobia actually in the human realm means an inordinate fear, an irrational
A
fear.
fear of something.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'm not scared of somebody who's
Gay.
gay.
no, I mean it's
I'm
ridiculous.
just not inviting you over to my room.
It's like
Yeah,
it's like,
you're homophobic.
no, it's like no. I mean I don't understand. I mean, okay, so you don't want to have gay sex, okay? Then you're a bad person. It's just okay. If I don't want to, if somebody doesn't, it's just like you don't
But
find
that's the
somebody
first
attractive.
thing. That's the first thing Democrats do, or
Yeah.
Republicans too.
Yeah.
They label something and make you a label, and because now you're that label, you're a bad person.
Well, like
Like
what?
if some pollster or some campaign advisor is going to tell them this is what everybody's going for. This is the
Right.
buzzword.
Well, look,
Stop the freaking buzzwords and let's get off the stupidity and get back to. I don't think we have a reset. I think what we have is we've gone back to common sense. I think common sense.
common sense
has
is
made
a
a
reset
revival.
at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
it's made
would
a
be a reset.
revival. It's made a revival back this whole life because honestly, people are now thinking, look at
Well, you see,
Bible sales are higher.
Bible sales are on a
are
rise
on a rise, but church
People-
attendance are down, and the reason why is because guess what?
because
Churches like what you guys are having are actually catching on
yeah.
more than the mega church. When you're watching a mega church where these guys are sitting there having rock concerts.
No, because
Sunday
ours
morning.
they can either turn it on or turn it off, and nobody's telling them how to think.
Right.
Our people, our pastors and our reverend, they just put out information.
All right.
I mean,
Right.
in a
You can watch it when you want to watch it. You
Yeah.
don't have to. You don't have to wake up and be there at 11 o'clock in the morning with everybody else and see what
that would be what's the name of the church now?
On the Orbis Church, and it's like it's a church without walls. And
Yeah.
and another thing is too. It's like if we do something and we say something you really disagree with theologically, you can go and review it. It's not
And
like
you can
what did
leave
they
a
say?
comment.
You can make comments. You can come back at any time. You can watch it. You watch them before you go to work. Come back and you'll finish the rest of it.
Right.
It's always there. I mean, it's up there 24/7 whenever you need it. You know,
You
or
don't
want it.
have to be there at 11 o'clock in the
Right.
morning. You don't have to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning.
But it is nice to go to a church and be with other people
It is
that are
nice.
like
I still do that.
and
Right.
have a fellowship with people.
the Bible does say don't
Forsake.
forsake that because you still need that part of your life.
Well-
You still need that plug.
Well, at
in.
least once a week you get out of your your little
Yeah.
house or
Yeah.
whatever and go and talk to people.
You know, I go to a
Pretend
church.
like you like
But-
them and then go home.
I talk to people all week long.
Yeah.
And when I get to Sunday, it's like I don't want to. I mean, I do want to go, but I don't want to go spend. I don't want to talk to people anymore.
I
At
can
that
understand
that
that.
day, I'm just done.
That's
When
like-
we get done the last show, and Julie and I are driving back, or whoever's in the car with me, and we're driving back. I head to somewhere and get a coffee or something like that, and don't want to talk. I just want to go in and get a drink of Coke or something, and just head home or head to a casino.
It's like
No.
because no, I see. I can understand that.
And I could be so.
So
like,
do you think me, John, and Julie should get in the van and
head up,
go up to
Sure.
Saguenay?
Saguenay, come up to Saguenay or Soaring Eagle, or go to Gun Lake on a Saturday? I know you can't do it, but on one of the
Yeah.
Saturdays
You can do it on Saturday.
Certain Saturdays.
One of the
Certain
Saturdays,
Saturdays.
on
Yeah.
the Saturdays you're not got church. We should go there. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they've got the best buffets in town.
Well, then tell us a day and we'll go.
See, it's
Yeah.
like it's
we
like
should do that. We could actually do our show on the road.
that might be good. I got the setup to do it. I got the setup. We can do it. Yeah.
It'd be
Okay.
kind of fun.
Yeah, we could,
Us in
uh,
the car all talking. That'd be fun.
that would be fun. That might be cool. Put a stick up and have it right there. Just we're talking.
A stick with the camera.
The camera. Well, there's.
We were talking
No,
about sexuality.
uh,
You want to stick on?
no.
No,
stick.
no, a stick.
Yeah, well, a
Talking to
selfie
my
stick.
stick.
Talking about stick buddy. No, I'm
That's not a
sorry.
microphone. No.
Keep your stick away from me.
Get out of here. No,
Oh my god. Well, then look at now. This one I wanted to talk to you about. This one was about Penny Willis being kicked out. I'm happy about that.
But
I wanted to
the
talk
thing
to you
is,
about that
just the court system takes time. That's all. And
Yeah.
you got
she definitely. I mean, she was not. She
I'm-
wasn't.
So what's going to happen to her though? I mean, she got
nothing.
reelected.
She was reelected.
She got reelected, but can't they come out in?
No, because that Atlanta's in its own. Atlanta's its own thing.
Yeah.
They're in their own little bubble. I mean, that's where that's everybody in Atlanta. That's the mindset that the rest of the people had for Kamala Harris. That's probably where she went to think that she was going to be our next president.
Again.
Oh yeah, maybe like I said, that maybe she'll win one primary.
Well, somebody
She
told
may
me.
never make it to the primary again.
Somebody said they saw her on something, and they said she was out of her mind.
She was
Yeah.
bombed. I mean, they
She's
had
drugged. I think that white stuff that they found in the White
Yeah.
House that one day. I keep telling you, I don't think
It's
that was
probably hers.
Hunter's. That was probably hers.
Because I mean, she was.
I-
I just
Hunter-
can't. But I look back on this and say it had to be a bad dream, or a funny bad dream.
Oh, it's like
The whole last 4 years, it can't be real. There's no way that we have elected a dead person as president.
Because we let the media scare the living crap out of everybody.
And but
They called
but,
Orange Man bad.
but the only good thing that come out of it is the media is dead, as
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah, because they that's basically they took their risk and they didn't reap the reward they thought, so they're basically they
And
screwed themselves.
Also, maybe if they do get rid of TikTok, the next thing that comes up behind it could even be more deadly for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so
You gotta-
stupid. Keep the what is it? It's the when they talk about the things that may hurt you,
Well, keep
that you know, don't keep them close.
keep your it's like keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer.
But no, I mean, know your enemy,
Right.
Right.
and but like I said, by the void will be filled by something
Oh,
else.
Right.
Well,
Every
be-
time you take
Maybe
away-
it's not TikTok. Maybe it's something worse. Or because they did that, what's going to happen is somebody just develop an app. Like when Stickam went down, everybody just went to the foreign version of Stickam
Right.
and kept
Right.
on going.
Yeah, see, that was. Oh, I wish we could have kept it
Yeah,
going.
those were fun days, even with YouTube
Yeah,
back then. Getting hundreds of thousands of views on videos on YouTube wasn't unheard of back in the. But we actually knew the other creators on YouTube when we first started, and that was cool too.
They would call,
Actually call them
in the middle of the
have
night.
them on our show.
Yeah, they'd call us in the middle. And one guy was like, well, two guys would always get drunk, and they'd call me at 2 or 3 in the morning. And we're just sitting there for a couple of hours BSing about stuff. It's just, I mean, it was a pretty
It
interesting
was
era.
fun. I mean, I didn't realize like the one video that we did on. It was on Xbox.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The
When he put his foot up on the table.
Yeah.
That was like almost 300,000
thousand.
views.
Yeah, because
Like I said, it wasn't unheard of. But we weren't getting paid.
could you
There's
imagine?
no creators fund back then.
So could you imagine if we got paid, we could all retired.
Mhm.
I'm serious. I mean, it would have been. We could have taken the money, invested it. Even a
I
small
agree
amount,
on that.
invested it. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of views, and we like 27th most watched thing on Stickam, and there was 8 million registered users, and we were the 27th
Users?
users,
They were the users.
users.
know,
No,
talking
no,
about-
it was back when it was the Wild Wild West. It was fun.
Yeah, and then they started getting all.
Those
Like,
are the best times of any program. You
Yeah.
get at the beginning of them.
yeah, it's like because it was like
Before
a frontier.
government steps in, it's fun.
It's like you're having too much fun. I mean, they're like a lot.
Because remember when Google when they bought
Yeah.
bought YouTube,
With over
it became stupid after that when they tried to make the creators into celebrities and have their show, their YouTube annual show,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That was so stupid.
That's just it's like it's to me like when YouTube was bought by Google, it's like basically it's like a woman's seeing a man was enjoying himself and saying, we're gonna stop that silliness right now.
Yeah.
It's like no, you can't have that. You're actually enjoying this, Sorry, I'm just joking, okay.
So, what do you think the Supreme Court's going to come out with that TikTok?
Oh, it's going to be the
You
way
think
that
they're going to go with
Yeah,
it?
because I think they rushed it, the Bidens, because
Yeah.
if they would have been a couple more days, it would have been Trump's regime with his lawyers going to talk about it. And of course, Trump said that more or less said, I don't have a problem with TikTok.
Right.
The congressman did and senators did vote on that though, right?
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
but like, yeah,
I just think anybody who voted
They
for it should be
voted
held
on it.
accountable
What
for
day
it.
they
did
all
say?
did because well, you know why, but I don't want to say it because our friends here.
Yeah.
No,
But
say it.
Well, because of
Be-
the pro
because it was they're saying it was anti-Semitic
Yeah.
and a lot of stuff and Jew
Yeah.
hate.
Are you freaking crazy?
Yeah,
No, that's the way they were pushing
they're
it.
pushing it. If you
If
support
you,
this,
if you follow that algorithm,
They were
you
saying-
probably would find
I've
it.
never
But-
seen anything on there. Like what they were upset about is that you could go to the lives and you can see pro-Palestinian stuff, and you can actually see stuff live on the ground in Palestine.
you're right.
And
Oh, you
that's
can't
what
have
they were
that.
upset
And they
with.
didn't want that.
No, it's like it's sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. If I'm a Christian, I'm supposed to be opposed to. I'm supposed to be opposed to murder. I don't care who's doing the murdering. Those are our allies. I don't know if you're murdering people. I don't want to choose an ally. All right.
Right, but that's I don't want to talk on.
No, it's not. It doesn't offend me. The thing that offends me about it is just that when you do something stupid like that, to call this.
They
in
did.
against
They
them.
actually, Josh, what's his name? The one he seems to be well spoken on everything else.
Holly.
Holly, he's one of the ones that came out against TikTok. And then,
Sometimes I swear to God, if you want to call around a report, every one of them, they're all that stupid.
that's why you need to look at them. I mean, yeah, sometimes they say so, but you got to remember those are sound bites. Sound bites don't do anything. They don't change anything. They just make people feel good for the moment.
Josh actually, if I remember right, did not have an easy time getting elected this time.
I don't know.
No, he's a Republican, right?
Right.
Okay. I don't need to keep. To me, they're all the
Well, he's one of the bigger ones. When you see Mr. Suspenders
all that.
from Louisiana,
Yeah, Hope
You see Josh the same
you
place.
see him.
Oh, is that the
they're
guy-
sat next to one another?
Holly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's some things I do like. I mean, he went after that the insurance companies and stuff like that.
We
And
went
the
after
credit
the-
card
Yeah,
company.
credit card company.
Credit
Credit
And
card
then we
company. Yeah.
mentioned NCA chairman.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
That
so-
guy's a total.
No, I'm not saying he's
idiot.
bad.
No, I
I'm
know.
just saying that those are just sound bites. They don't do anything.
Well, there's some things like I would never thought I was going to agree with a Kennedy on anything. Now, Robert Kennedy's like a person I like.
I would vote for him for president.
I would too. I
Yeah.
mean, because the thing is, he's the old Democrat that the Kennedy family used to be like.
Right.
Teddy was a departure. Robert, his dad, the guy we're dealing with, his dad and JFK, they loved this country. They loved
Yeah.
the Constitution, the Bill of
With
Rights.
the fact of ask not what the country you can do.
Teddy
for, ask
was-
what you can do for the country.
Right.
Teddy was the drunk uncle that got
Yeah.
that accidentally got elected.
I was like, oh,
And he was just staying there with the booze. That was it.
That's
he
it.
was the partying, go lucky, kill a girl in a car kind of guy.
yeah, kill a girl. That's right. No big deal. It's like, no, I mean, this guy is like actually, I mean, his voice is about the biggest thing because it's, sounds so harsh.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I've gotten past that.
Yeah, I have
because the
too.
Things he says it makes sense.
the thing is, he's been saying stuff. My mom was involved with stuff trying to look was in the food and the nutritional standards and stuff back in the 70s, and she was on board for this change and stuff. I mean, and looking at stuff. And like I said, we belong to a food co-op thing. That's usually some bunch of hippies belong to. We weren't hippies,
All right, I want to say it. When our town snack started, and I thought about this for a long time, and I thought about this weekend when I was working on stuff because my dad's been dead for 20 years. I was thinking, I wonder if my dad 20 years ago would actually think that I'm sitting here making things and working on stuff and looking at ingredients and stuff like that. Because I would never get in the kitchen. for
I
any
can answer
spot.
that question because I look at you right now and I'm amazed
but
after talking to you over
No.
the last couple of months.
It's
you-
like
How does this guy do it?
But by
He
the
must
way-
have a smart woman behind him.
I
Yeah,
do. I have a lot of smart people behind me.
It's-
So, but Jules is there and Kate's there. But no, I've got people to rely on and talk about it all the time. But like I get these thoughts in my heads and go out to the kitchen, out to the test kitchen we have in the factory floor, and nobody's around at 2 or 3 in the morning, and that's where I get some of my best inspiration.
what company is this again?
Our town snacks.
Okay, it's like, and what kind of stuff do you make? Product lines?
We actually make the caffeinated chocolate. We are now coming out with we got a special coming out in January that I'm holding closer to my chest,
What?
but it's a line that we're dedicating to the veterans.
But we can tell you, out of all the chocolates that we've had, the last packets
Yeah.
are the perfect size where you don't have
Right, the singles.
Yeah.
where
those
you
are-
don't have a sugar high after
Yeah.
you're done with them.
You're not supposed to eat all 24.
Oh,
of them.
nobody told us that.
There's on Ray in the thing. Please don't eat.
It's like anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Okay, that's my
guys
expression.
overdid. And when you called me that one day, I'm like, dude, Like,
Oh,
did
have
you
you
eat
ever
that whole
caught him?
thing?
Have you ever caught him when he's fired up? When he's
Oh.
come over here and had a cup of coffee? He's this
Oh,
He was
piggy.
like, I'm like, John, how many? I just had the whole bag. I'm like, John, you're not supposed to eat the whole bag.
Yeah, it's like it's
I gave you it for a few
No.
days. I didn't give it to you. for the day.
Caffeine is his friend.
yeah, that's
Oh,
I
yeah.
lived on it. Matter of fact, when I graduated from college, I think a cup of coffee should go along across the stage with me to get my diploma.
You should have.
Yeah, because I mean it was like I
So when
fired up.
you bleed black.
Yeah,
and-
it's caffeine. I drink about 4 cups. I mean it's strong coffee though. I drink it black,
Mhm.
so it's like anything.
Does the chocolate ever have an effect on you?
Some degree. I mean,
Like
especially
caffeinated?
it's not as much as I'm a purist, so I go for the black coffee, and that's only been the past year and a half,
Right.
And I love it, by the way. I have cream and sugar occasionally.
And it's
but-
funny. His favorite coffee is Big Lots.
Yeah, the Java Time, or it's from there, and I looked online from
They're
Amazon.
closing.
Yeah, I know that's like I got to get my coffee supply, man, hooked up. I mean, this stuff's like it's cheaper. It's like about I forget how big the package is. One's out there in the
Well, you got a bigger one this last time, didn't you?
well, actually the same size, but I
Oh.
got 2 or 3 of them. But at the time, they're like $6 $6.98 for like a package. It's over a pound and almost 2 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's real finely ground coffee, and it's really good. I mean, it's like I just got into it, and now it's going to be gone. But anyway,
And you kept on saying it. Oh, they're going to be closing. They're closing. No, they're not closing. I looked online, and then I looked online today to get some show notes,
Right.
and sure enough,
They're getting ready to close.
they're closing on. Well, I don't know how many, a couple of hundred.
oh, see,
Do
it's
you think people are actually trying to get
They're
coming back to the malls?
no, I don't think so.
Do you think the malls are dead?
Pretty much when I seen it locally, this all I go
I mean,
by.
it's fun when you go down near Detroit, Novi. That I forget.
Novi,
what,
when we're 12 Oaks.
Is it
12
12 Oaks?
12
That's a
Oaks.
nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be major ones that are never going to go away.
Right.
Because they have exclusive stores and they're not anywhere else.
But the place, like I've had friends of mine who actually made pilgrimages to the Mall of America in Minnesota. I forget what city
But
it
do
is.
you remember Eastland Mall when it was Eastland
Yeah.
Mall?
It was
That
packed.
was packed always.
Yeah, it's
They
like,
had Chess King there. I remember.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of kids and stuff were going there, especially when they had what's the name of that stupid
Lions
store?
Castle or
No, the one with all the hippy dippy
oh
stuff.
Spencer's
Spencer's,
Gift.
yeah.
I love Spencer's Gift.
Always stupid. You always go to the back, go through the lights.
Yeah.
The
Neon.
yeah,
See, in the neighborhood here,
And
yeah,
Labrador.
black lights.
well, see, in this neighborhood here, we used to have Susie Stash. I don't know, you ever heard of that?
No.
It was the only place in Genesee County one time in the 70s where you can get a tattoo. Okay, and plus they sold like a basically, I guess the expression they call a head shop. You buy your paraphernalia and stuff there. We had it there, and it was one of I never was into drugs, so I didn't go there until just before a couple of years before it closed up. And man, it did have the black lights, posters up and the lava lamps and all the stuff and the beads, and they had some massage oil and erotica stuff and all that. It was kind of like the sinner's palace, I would call it.
So I'm trying to get to the point of where did he?
Hey,
why-
what's your point?
Oh, it's like
yeah, I was trying to figure out why you went there.
just a reverie, I guess. So excuse me on that, but no, you're talking
talking
about.
about a stick, and then he's talking about
No,
this place,
I'm talking to my stick.
no, it's okay. But okay, I apologize. I think I'm trying to track how the hell I
Did
went
you
off
have
on there.
coffee?
Yeah, earlier today. Yeah. That's it.
When you guys went to lunch today, did you guys have coffee?
No, we had pizza at Latina's on Bristol Road. Great place, man. Great place.
Did you guys use your trade money?
Dude,
At Latina's?
Yeah, you can use your trade down there.
No.
No,
Yeah, you can.
damn, we didn't know that. We'll have to call you because you got more of awareness. Who takes that?
Yeah, Latinas BT used to take it. They traded it over to Trade Network.
I'm gonna have to call and ask if they take it.
Oh yeah, they'll take it.
It's like because now you have to have a card with you, though, right?
Yeah, take your card with you.
I can't find my card. I had it in my wallet.
Call
at one
Evan,
time.
he'll get you a new one.
Yeah,
Or you just know your number.
I didn't.
If you
do
know your
that.
number, you're good.
I didn't know. I don't think I knew that.
They usually run your card though.
Okay.
Explain what trade bucks are now because you're talking about them.
Yeah.
Trade dollars is like a bartering dollars. It's like a Visa card. You give up services or products to another business that's part of the organization. So it's a tight organization. It's from business owner to business owner. And if you're part of the same organization, you can actually trade back and
And
forth.
that's why we
it's
don't
cash.
know anything about it. We've been in it. We were getting money for 2 years, and we didn't realize it. We're up to like almost
$1,800 and all, yeah.
I mean, so like I was
that
at,
we've had for 10 years.
Yeah,
like at times I'll get up to $20,000 in my trade dollars. I'll get behind like 5 or 6,000 in trade, so I can vary between the two. You know,
and also, but it's like you do have to do if you do use it for like
You
a
pay tax.
restaurant, you have to pay tax, and also you have to, and if you want to add the tip, you add the tip to the
and
restaurant.
I'll
and
tell you
stuff.
what, a lot of the servers at that place love it better when in trade places if they're on a spot because your tip is higher because you have more money to leave a tip than you for anything else. So it does work good.
I think we got a new hangout.
Yeah.
Latina's is a good spot to go eat.
Until because that's at least
14 meals.
17 meals.
So, yeah, because we had quite a amount of because people come here to do shows.
We spend $74 today.
You'd only have to spend 68.
How much?
68.
Out of my pocket?
Okay.
Well, what would
You only had to spend $6.
Oh,
You've got 60 to 800 trade dollars.
no? I'm talking about real money. I would have spent
Six.
Six.
Yeah.
And the tip.
damn. We got to call him then and say which one's on there. Yeah, because he's more
Well,
familiar with it.
if you go to Trade Network and you
I didn't
log
see
in
Latinas
on,
on there.
yeah, you can log in and get it.
I didn't do, but I never seen Latinas on there.
Because the guys at the print shop, they just used Latinas yesterday.
See, this is the revelation.
Time to push